Good morning, guys. One of my subscribers sent an email to me a few days ago and said that it would probably be a fun topic if I talked a little bit about Filipino nicknames. And I thought this would be a good idea because Filipinos really do love their nicknames. If you happen to marry a Filipina and get involved with her family, or just living in the Philippines and getting involved in making friends and being a part of the culture, something you'll notice is, as I've said, Filipinos love nicknames within families. A lot of times they'll assign a nickname to someone and they will call the person by the nickname a lot more than by the real name. And just a few things to kind of note is that in many cases, not always, but in many cases, the nickname does not really have any actual connection to the person's real name. Just as an example, one of my wife's nicknames in her family is Corey or at the Cores. And the primary reason for that is my wife was born during the era of Cory Aquino's presidency. And so she was, of course, quite popular at that time, known across the country, still is, but I mean, this was her heyday, so to speak. And so even now, many of the people in the family call my wife at the Cores, especially the little ones. Her name is Mary Chris, so that's no connection whatsoever to the nickname. But that's what happens sometimes. The nickname is kind of what sticks with people in the family. Now, another thing that I've noticed that's, again, is kind of funny and I think unique to Filipino culture is that Filipinos love to give nicknames with repeat syllables. As an example, among my wife's siblings, I can think of three nicknames right off. There's Nok Nok, there's Neneng, and then there's Shasha. Those are three of my wife's siblings. In only one of those cases that I can think of right off, the nickname is actually somehow connected to the real name, a similar syllable or a similar sound in there. And now the funny thing, one of those that come to mind, I couldn't tell you that sibling's real name right off because that sibling always goes by the nickname. Now, as far as the repetition in the nicknames, I wonder if that has some connection to the way Tagalog and many of the Filipino languages are spoken. Because when you're speaking Tagalog, there's a lot of repeat syllables in there. In many cases, when you're conjugating a verb, if you're speaking about the present tense or the future, part of the way you do that is you repeat a syllable. So I do kind of wonder if that's the connection, and that's why they like the repeat sounds in nicknames. But who knows? Anyway, it's fun, and I just remember it's something I noticed even long before I got married. I just noticed that among friends and family, nicknames are very common. And I remember when I was doing student ministry, I would go up and meet a new barkada, a new group of friends. And sometimes the leader would be the one to introduce me to everyone in that barkada. And there would be some regular names like, oh, this is John and this is Jane. But then you would also end up, okay, this is Muck Muck, Gigi, Tick Boy, June June. I mean, you end up with all these funny sounding nicknames. And again, it's just one of those aspects of the Filipino culture that to me, it's endearing, it's fun, and if you move to the Philippines and really get really involved with the culture, it's something you're definitely going to notice.